got good food. We're gonna have contests where you can come in and people gonna test each other food, and we're gonna rank them and give out gifts and prizes for that. So if you'd like to be a part of that, you can do that by going to our YouTube channel, by going ahead and looking at our YouTube channel, or going on any of these links that we're on right now on social media, and say, hey, I'd like to be a part of that by you liking any of our videos or any of that stuff. Just get involved in it on that end, and you can be a contestant in some of those programs, and look out for it. Also, we got
and I'm gonna stop, and we're gonna have a show, and we're gonna have an episode, y'all, with vegan food.
We're gonna do a vegan food one. That we definitely gonna do a vegan.
Ken's doing that especially for me.
You're doing
nobody like no vegan.
Yeah, we're gonna do vegan food.
Yeah.
So as y'all hear,
stop hating.
Everybody's in the house today. We have full capacity. They just came on. They y'all understand, I do the stall game in the beginning of the program every week while they come in. And so once they get in, then we're ready to roll. So we're gonna get started in a little bit. So while everybody's here, let's do some housekeeping work I was just doing there, just talking about some stuff that's going on. Dr. Burton.
Yes, sir.
You've been MIA. What's going on in your world? What's been happening?
I've been on the road. I have been on the road, on the road again. But yeah, I've been doing
traveling.
I can't get these headphones right with my hair today, so I need to see what I look like on the podcast camera, because I don't think
it's
working.
There you go. That's the way
it ain't working right with my Afro puff, y'all, today.
Yeah, there you
go. But no, I was in Scottsdale for a conference, and then last week the Space for Grace and Spiritual Caregivers Conference was here. And it actually was a great conference. Otis Moss III closed us out from Trinity Baptist Church, brought it home. The new book, Student Success in Historically Black Spaces, will be ready for pre-sale. See, when you got great co-hosts, they take pictures of you so you can see what you look like. The book, Student Success in Historically Black Spaces, will be available for pre-sale April 30th. And so make sure you follow me at Dr. HEB on Instagram, or on any of my social media handles are Dr. HEB. So you can pick up that copy. Then I have an event that's happening on May 15th, where I'm introducing the new model, the Insight Code model, Insight Code Institute, getting people back to who God created them to be. So how do we strip ourselves from these societal, what I call restrictive societal norms, such as oppression, racism, that we've been shaped in, and specifically as Black people? And how do we strip ourselves from that and get back to who God intended us for us to be, and walk in calling and purpose? So join me on May 14th for that Friday evening, beginning with a reception, then a few minutes of a workshop, and then closing with a reception. So
and where that's going to be at?
That is it is a undisclosed location until you register.
Okay. I like that.
Oh, that's
yes. It's an undisclosed location until you register. Right. For several reasons. It's because I'm working with an organization that's letting me use space. And because this is not something that they do in terms of letting people use space for that.
They don't want to be
I want to be very careful and respectful. And so, we've got that going on. And the podcast, y'all make sure y'all catching Sanctified in Stilettos. We've had some great episodes that have dropped. So
great episodes.
That's happening. Preaching throughout the city, the country. So it's been pretty busy.
Where was you at last?
Saturday, I was just at a prayer breakfast. I did a prayer breakfast in Akron at Wesley Temple. This Saturday, I'm at a prayer breakfast at United. I'm taking Mother's Day off, and then I'm at another church on the 17th, and then I'm in Houston on the 22nd, and then I'm at another church on the 30th, and then I'm in Canada for a book signing. Join us, for the Ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority. I am being featured as one of our Delta authors on tour in Canada at the end of the month, and then come back and head to New Orleans, and then back and head to Houston, then back and head to
I told you this woman be busy. She's all over the place.
This is what I was saying, and that could be a whole conversation about how your gifts will make room for you. But I think what tends to happen, and like I told somebody, I'm just walking in the doors that God's open. So whatever he opened, that's where I'm going. And doors have been opening. I didn't expect to be this busy, but it's been good.
Right. I like that.
So what's up with you, Judge? You've been gone for a minute. Well, you was with me the last time we were on.
Yeah,
What's going on with you?
But, I'm adjusting to my new role as primary caregiver. So, my 101-year-old mom and I are sort of getting together, and I'm doing a lot of things that I didn't have to do before. So I'm, and she doesn't require a lot,
right?
But you got to be watchful. At 101, I hope somebody's watching me.
That's what I'm saying.
So make sure I'm straight. So that's a new thing. So as I've told everybody, I'm gonna be buying a lot of gala tickets anymore. So that's one benefit of this. So, my schedule is going to change.
Can you buy a Black Diamonds ticket?
Well, for that's a different kind of thing. I may even bring her to that. All the family we got over there, that crimson and that's right, y'all red and white.
Yeah,
we crimson and cream.
Crimson and cream.
So I got that's my crew.
Okay,
but I been watching what's going on in the country and sort of resetting, so I can start spending some time writing about this in ways that will be memorialized as we address these this very fluid society we live in that that no one can explain. So and I'm enjoying Dr. Burton's travels and writings and postings and stuff.
Because this is what happens when you start getting old. Your leg hurt, and I need it to be flat on the ground.
Okay,
so I'm gonna need Latif to fix my camera. But I can't. This leg can't swing today. This right leg is hurt.
You gotta go see Dr. Clarence Simple out there in Cleveland.
Yeah, my knee was messed up, and then
you gotta get yourself together. You can't travel with bad knees.
No, I went to the chiropractor this morning. No, I did go to my chiropractor this morning. Shout out to Hunter Wellness, Black-owned chiropractor.
And I see you in flats too.
I know. I'm in tennis shoes, with a skirt on.
We're gonna call you. What happened to those stilettos?
Yeah, now it's gonna be sanctified and flats.
It's gonna be sanctified in sneakers.
We got a new player in the house. Man.
We do.
We have DJ Rockville is in the house. He's taking Uni's spot. She went on vacation.
A vacation.
Yeah, she's gone for a couple of weeks, and so we have a guest engineer in the house today.
Yeah, on vacation. And then Dr. Burton, she was in my second home. She was in Phoenix, man.
Yeah.
Phoenix.
Okay. That was my first time ever going to Scottsdale.
Really? Oh no.
Yeah. I've been to, Phoenix
you got to hang out.
but I ain't never been in Scottsdale.
Old time.
It says it's hot as heck there, man.
Well, this is unseasoned. Now they're having unseasonably hot weather. Now it's always hot.
Right.
But it's unseasonably hot. Except for this week, it's been sort of mild.
But when I was there, it was mild.
Okay.
So it was interesting that it was nice. It was decent. It wasn't too hot. And especially when you talk about Arizona.
Yeah. Did you go to the Point of Tapatio or Gainey Ranch?
I did not. I was at a conference, and this particular conference, they don't like to let you leave. They put you at these resorts.
Oh yeah, where were you?
And then you can't go nowhere. The Phoenician.
I was just gonna say that's a beautiful resort. They
lock y'all in.
They lock us in. We were somewhere else, and I was like, "Can we get out?"
Oh no, y'all stay right.
The Phoenician.
You got everything you need right here.
But the issue is that the day is packed. So what they do, you going from 8:30 in the morning to 8:30 at night.
So you don't even get to see things.
So you don't get
Scottsdale. It's a good spot.
But
man.
that's what happens when you do stuff with corporate.
Phoenix is my golf spot.
Yep.
Man. So
that's
where I go
says.
to relax, man. When I want to get away from it, I go. Now the thing about it though, is when I first began going to Phoenix, nicest weather, craziest people. See, they had what's the old crazy sheriff they had out there locking everybody up and throwing away the Constitution.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Aparicio, whatever his name was.
It was something Trump, right?
Yeah, we got rid of his behind. Then he came back. Trump pardoned him. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was his cousin.
I'm so tired of that, man.
Hey, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take us a break real quick. We're gonna come back and we're gonna get adjusted and get all of our headphones right. We're gonna get our feet on the ground, and we're gonna let Judge Nelson go and lead us off. We got something he want to talk about today to get the conversation going. And just to let you know, we may have Congresswoman Shontel Brown on the program. If she has votes, she won't be here, but if she make it, she will. So we'll be back in a hot second. Right.
Support for WOVU comes from Village of Healing, a wonderful nonprofit health center led by Black women with locations in Euclid and Shaker Heights. Village of Healing offers services in gynecology, obstetrics, mental health, pediatrics, and primary care. The organization focuses on serving communities in Greater Cleveland. More information about them is available on the web at villageofhealingcle.com.
Support for WOVU comes from the Legal Aid Society of Cleveland. Since 1905, Legal Aid has offered free civil legal services to individuals and families with low incomes across Northeast Ohio. Their work includes support with housing, domestic situations, and public benefits. Legal Aid serves clients in counties including Cuyahoga, Lorain, Ashtabula, Lake, and Geauga. More information is available at www.lasclev.org.
Cleveland, this is your show, your topics, and your voice. Join in for What's on Your Mind Tuesday on 95.9 FM WOVU. Call in or comment on social media. Let's make this conversation unforgettable. Stream it live on WOVU.org.
Support for WOVU.
Yeah. So play that.
Support for WOVU comes from Neighborhood Family Practice, a nonprofit federal qualified health center with 7 locations on Cleveland's west side and in Lakewood. NFP provides primary care, behavioral health, dental, midwifery, and pharmacy services. Medicaid, Medicare, and most commercial insurance plans are accepted. A sliding fee scale is available for those without insurance. More information is available at nfpmedcenter.org.
All right, we're back. We're just getting everything together, y'all. So we're going to come back and talk to Judge Nelson. You know, I was talking to him earlier in the week. We're getting our stuff together for this program. And I asked him we're going to start in our program now. Our new format is that everybody's going to have something to talk about that's going on in their mind. And we're going to start that conversation off. And leading the conversation off this week is Judge Nelson. So, Judge, you set the tone. What's going on? Only thing I let everybody know, if the Congresswoman does jump on, we're going to jump into her. But if not, we're going to just keep it going. So, Judge, it's on you. What's happening, man? What's going on?
The big thing everywhere is the correspondence dinner. But, the aftermath, I understand that Melania Trump was upset that Jimmy Kimmel had made a joke 3 days before, and she wanted to have him fired because whatever he joked about, that she was
he said she had her mourning face on,
looked like a pregnant widow, which is
I mean that's all he said.
And the thing about it, I'm trying to figure out how you can even see that through all that plastic surgery and Botox. But anyway, he saw it, he made the comment. And he said, and then she said that the Democrats and Jimmy Kimmel, their rhetoric was the cause of the violence. And I'm saying, see, that's what happens when you're an immigrant and you don't have to take any history classes. When you don't have to take any history classes. See, she came in
rare form today.
Melania came in the back door. She went from being a happy hooker or whatever she was doing. Or let me finish that. Or whatever she was doing when she was taking those photographs with Epstein and the boys, to becoming the vice.
Hold on. She was a model too now, because she did some modeling.
Well, okay, yeah, that's what
that. She was in Penthouse.
Hey,
you are confirming this.
It was a modeling job.
It was.
But
they got paid.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It's the new thing and everything. But when she did that, and she came in the back door as Donald's girlfriend, she skipped all the classes and requirements, and she didn't study history. So she thinks that
neither did Donald.
Yeah, she thinks that the country just got divided like last week. But she forget about lynching and the Scottsboro boys.
That is history. That's his story.
Yeah.
That's his story.
So we need to give her the story. Yeah. So she needs to understand that, you had.
But do you think she even want to know the story?
No. But you either can be stupid intentionally or accidentally. So by her not knowing the story, she's intentionally stupid, which really puts her in a position where she actually thinks that things just started in 2016. but she lynching. Maybe she needs to go to Montgomery, Alabama, to the Civil Rights Museum.
Man, that woman's from where? Russia?
Well, she does not care, and she was not developed with a consciousness.
No, but she never had one. Her family didn't have one either. They from Russia, motherland Russia.
That's right.
And the people over there in motherland Russia do not care for black folks.
But here's the point, though.
Real.
Here's the point. She at least wouldn't make stupid statements if she has some historical context.
Not when you're racist.
I think she still would. I don't think the historical context even matters. She would still make stupid statements.
Yeah, but that's intentionally being stupid.
But here's the thing, because
true.
you can have historical context, but your historical context can still be skewed.
Well, hers is just plain stupid.
If it's skewed, then
skewed. You think she could understand that word skewed? So if you were sitting down and say, "Honey, we understand that you don't have context because you've been skewed."
She said, "I did not screw nobody."
Yeah. So Dr. Burton, you're speaking at the intellectual level. So she's been skewed.
Okay, I'm coming back, but I need to ask about the comment. So what was the comment she
How
had?
dare you say that, Judge? I did not screw nobody.
Ken, what was the comment she had her morning face on?
She was just there, and Kimball looked at her in she was at an event, and she was just looking really sad. And he said, "Looked like she already got her morning face on."
And she looked like she normally looked. She looked like her.
And this happened before any of the shootings happened,
right,
and he was like, she wanted to get him deported.
Right.
She was like, he got to get his show off, and he need to get out of the country.
Yeah. And see, I'm not trying to make light of it, but the fact of the matter is, so folks, I know I've said it with a little humor, but the reality is the woman is unconscionably ignorant.
Yeah. And contributing to the ignorance of other people. Because that's the dangers when you have somebody in these positions. And even though we don't look at her in any level of respect, but when you have somebody who has any type of voice, and the 5 people that follow her, they follow that same ignorance. And
they spread it. They share it. They share that.
Well, that's what they do. That's MAGA.
Yeah.
That's the
she shared that
mission statement to MAGA.
Right. So there's a whole list of social media.
Wait, I got a pause. Is Lateef actually on the phone?
Yeah, he's actually on the phone right there while we talk.
Lateef saying, I ain't got nothing to do with what they're saying. He telling whoever it is, I don't have nothing to do with this. Don't come at me, Ice. That's Dr. Burton and Mike. All right, but Lateef making sure he ain't tied into this.
Well, hold on.
We don't want nobody coming after Lateef.
Send it who? We're going to take a break real quick. We're going to go and take a quick break because the Congresswoman is trying to get in on, and we'll be right back.
Support for WOVU comes from Neighborhood Family Practice, a nonprofit federal qualified health center with 7 locations on Cleveland's west side and in Lakewood. NFP provides primary care, behavioral health, dental, midwifery, and pharmacy services. Medicaid, Medicare, and most commercial insurance plans are accepted. A sliding fee scale is available for those without insurance. More information is available at nfpmedcenter.org.
Support for WOVU comes from the Phoebe Foundation, a Cleveland nonprofit that offers financial education and digital access programs. Since 2002, the foundation has provided resources for budgeting, credit, and home ownership. Programs include All Things Money and Wired to Work, which features workshops, one-on-one coaching, and youth-focused sessions.
For more information, visit phoebefoundation.org.
Support for WOVU comes from Village of Healing, a wonderful nonprofit health center led by Black women with locations in Euclid and Shaker Heights. Village of Healing offers services in gynecology, obstetrics, mental health, pediatrics, and primary care. The organization focuses on serving communities in Greater Cleveland. More information about them is available on the web at villageofhealingcle.com.
Support for WOVU comes from the Legal Aid Society of Cleveland. Since 1905, Legal Aid has offered free civil legal services to individuals and families with low incomes across Northeast Ohio. Their work includes support with housing, domestic situations, and public benefits. Legal Aid serves clients in counties including Cuyahoga, Lorain, Ashtabula, Lake, and Geauga. More information is available at www.lasclev.org.
Jesus. I'm on that holy water. I'm drinking like it's Fiji. I'm getting my life in order. I'm repping Jesus, Jesus. I'm on that holy water. I'm drinking it like it's Fiji. I'm getting my life in order. I'm repping Jesus, Jesus. I'm on that holy water. I'm drinking it like it's Fiji. I'm getting my life in order. I'm repping Jesus, Jesus. I'm on that holy water. I'm drinking it like it's Fiji. I'm getting my life in order. I am flying like an eagle, sort of my wings like an old school regal. Devil think he winning, but he already been defeated. I'm fiending for your love, like some dope I really need it. I'm stunting like my daddy and his spirit lives within me. I'm on the road, leading by faith, locked with him just like the safe. Too many people be up in my way, Triple H trying to play the game. Feeling like Drake, nothing the same. Ever since that you slid in my lane, I know people out here wealthy, but they still begging for change. May I vent, be the first to say, Lord, I need you. I'm full of sin, but you know my heart will always be for you. I see you working on me inside from a point of view. No more hiding from your holy love, no more peekaboo. I'm repping Jesus, Jesus. I'm on that holy water. I'm drinking like it's Fiji. I'm getting my life in order. I'm repping Jesus, Jesus. I'm on that holy water. I'm drinking it like it's Fiji. I'm getting my life in order. I'm repping Jesus, Jesus. I'm on that holy water. I'm drinking it like it's Fiji. I'm getting my life in order. I'm repping Jesus, Jesus. I'm on that holy water. I'm drinking it like it's Fiji. I'm getting my life in order. I'm not the same like 2 Chainz. I am different with this game. Tasha Cobb, fill me up. I need your love and I will trade you my life all at once just to be with you for days. Sky's the limit. Do you get it? He changed my life and I am a witness. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling good. Let me run and tell the hood the living God is coming back to break us down like some wood and build us up like a foundation so our hearts won't be quake. The feeling that I get's amazing. I don't feel no hesitation. I'm on God. I'm on God mode. Yeah. I'm on God mode. I'm on God mode. I'm on God mode. Can't nothing touch my soul. I'm repping Jesus, Jesus. I'm on that holy water. I'm drinking like it's Fiji. I'm getting my life in order. I'm repping Jesus, Jesus. I'm on that holy water. I'm drinking it like it's Fiji. I'm getting my life in order. I'm repping Jesus, Jesus. I'm on that holy water. I'm drinking it like it's Fiji. I'm getting my life in order. I'm repping Jesus, Jesus. I'm on that holy water. I'm drinking it like it's Fiji. I'm getting my life in order.
You're listening to the Strategic Moves with Kenn Dowell Radio Show, where justice served, truth delivered, with Judge Michael Nelson on 95.9 FM WOVU.
What a day, what a day, what a day. Are we on? Are we back? We're back. We're back. Boy, we're having the time of our lives here today, y'all. Y'all just don't know it.
Time of our lives.
Made
me just think of Dirty Dancing.
Uh-oh. Doctor.
That's the song. This is
I guess so.
I hear the Congresswoman.
Yeah. Everybody's ready to roll.
Yes.
How you doing there, lady?
I am well. How are you guys?
We're doing fine. We're doing fine. We had a whole intro and everything for you all set up today, but since you family, we're going to just talk because we got to get right to it because I know you're busy and we want to make sure we get right to it. So, you know what's going on in the country today with the gas prices is where they are. People feeling all the pressures from everything, the groceries, stores, and housing. Stock is going down where people can't really afford. You got people still living at home because they can't get good loans anymore. Things are just really bad. And to make matters worse, we have a administration that's really turning the pressure up on everything these days with all the rhetoric that comes out of his office and all the things that's going on. We had this assassination attempt that took place this week, and some says it's real, some says it's WWE. You know they do got Linda McMahon over there now, so let's don't forget that, y'all. The boys, he got a McMahon in the goddamn cabinet. Now they could do some things over there and make things look like it want to look. But all jokes aside, that's what's happening. And with that pressure is turned up where everybody is just getting frustrated. I mean, people these days are so fed up, and you'd be surprised. You go talk to the nice little neighbor who is an old lady or something you watch in the neighborhood, and you talk to her, and she goes off about what's going on about the country and goes off about what's going on with the president and everything. Everybody is on 11 these days, and it's really bad. So I wanted you to come on because you are leader in a position that all this pressure is sort of on your shoulders a little bit. And I'm going to put it on you a little bit today because we're in election season right now and everybody is wanting to find a place to blame everything anyway. So I'm going to give it to you because you can handle it. I was at church Sunday listening to you preach. Congresswoman Brown gave the message.
She done preached on Sunday.
Oh, I think she might be ready to roll with you, Mr.
Tell her we can go. We can go.
Yeah,
we've had great conversations before with our chat.
Yeah.
We can just do a preacher-thon.
No,
Congresswoman.
She was live in effect on Sunday. So I want to put that on you. What words do you got to say to everybody that's out there right now? We'll get into some of the other stuff, but you got anything encouraging that you want to give to the people that's out there in the community that's looking at you, that's saying, hey, Congress is just not doing enough. She's not fighting enough. She's not helping us. She takes this from other people. Her influence has changed, and that's not representing us. I know that's not in your heart. I know that's not who you are, but I'm going to get you have a few moments to address that and say something, and then we'll talk about the other rhetoric.
Well, thank you always for the opportunity to just connect with the people, your audience. Shout out to Dr. Burton. You know, the sisterhood is greatly appreciated. I would just remind people that you still have the power. There are 435 members in the House of Representatives, 100 in the Senate. The public, the people, you outnumber us every day of the week. And so we are in the midst of a primary election where you have a chance to make your voice heard. For folks who feel like the pressure that they're feeling is very real. Let me acknowledge that. The pressure that we're all feeling, prices are up, incomes are down. Things are moving in the opposite direction in which this president promised he would take them. And we have an opportunity to have what I would describe as a referendum on that last election for the people who mistakenly thought or believed him when he said that he was going to lower the cost of gas, goods, and groceries on day one. Well, you have your evidence of that was not true. For the people who thought he believed him when he said that he would not start another endless war. Well, we see what's happening with Iran. And what's happening with Iran is really critical to what people are feeling, the pain at the pump, the grocery stores. The Strait of Hormuz is what really an access point for fertilizer, which might seem like an odd thing to talk about, but that is the source of our food for farmers. And so when the input costs like fertilizer increases, that is going to have a residual impact on the groceries that we buy. And so this president has made it very difficult for us to just afford everyday living. Not to circle back to HR 1, where we had the largest cut to our health care in our nation's history under this president. So people's premiums are skyrocketing. So you've got skyrocketing healthcare premiums. You've got energy costs that are going up. You've got grocery costs that are going up. Everything is just getting so much more expensive. And so this is a time where I have been fighting. If you look at my legislation, I'm proud to say I've introduced over 15 bills, about 17 to be exact, and they've all focused on food assistance. They focused on diversity. They have focused on equity, and they have focused on housing, all around affordability, the issues that are really pressing to the district of the 11th Congressional District. And so I would just remind folks, do not take your voice and your vote for granted. We are in the midst of an election. You can go vote right now. You can, literally right now, you can go down to the Board of Elections, 1803 Superior Avenue, and cast a ballot right now and make your voice heard in this very critical election. And so don't be discouraged. That's what they want. All of these things that are happening around us, from what took place at the Correspondence Center to what's happening in Iran, are things that could potentially weigh on you and make you distracted from the affordability crisis that we're in. And we have an opportunity to address that, but you have to show up. Participation is required. Politics is a sport of participation. It's about numbers at the end of the day. So if you don't show up, I'm not sure there's much we can do.
You know, one of the things you said that for those people who say, I don't believe in politics, how you say they say, I don't believe in politics?
I said, people say they so often, especially when I'm in church, and I used to be one of those folks. So I'm preaching to myself when I say that when you go to church, you want to hear a word, and oftentimes you're like, I don't want to hear from a politician. I'm not into politics, but politics is into you every day. Every single day, somebody, whether you show up or not, decisions are being made on your behalf. Services are being cut, whether you show up or not. So it is important that you at least participate in the process so that you have a voice that can help guide the decisions. Our decisions, is particularly, I'll speak for myself. I can't speak for every elected official, but my decisions are based on what feedback I get from my constituents. I work for you. I work for the people. I'm not trying to enrich myself like what we see is happening in the White House. While everybody else is struggling to make ends meet, this president and his family are making billions. And they're costing us to the tune of $2 billion a day for this war when they said they can't pay for childcare. They can't pay for food assistance. They can't pay for health care. So I think the poet Tupac put it very plain. They got money for war, but can't feed the poor. That is still happening to this day. And it's really frustrating from my vantage point, because we're not asking for a whole lot. We're just asking for people in this country to be able to eat, to be able to make quality choices when it comes to health care without having to break the bank. That is not unreasonable in the richest country in the world.
Nelson, Judge.
Hey, thanks. Congresswoman, it's so good to hear from you.
Thank you.
You know, you're in the midst of the battle. And when you're sitting across the aisle, and you're discussing the collateral damage of the Trump administration's policies, whether it's costing people enormous money in terms of just basic consumer goods and the rise in inflation, the whole issue of our reputation worldwide,
yes.
the healthcare crisis that we're facing, where research has been cut so that people who are looking for health relief is not being developed because he's cut the research. When you look at them, I mean, tell me the dynamic, because this is obvious to them too, because their people are being hurt just as badly as the people in our congressional district. What's the dynamic when you're talking about these issues and you're looking at your counterparts from the other side of the aisle?
Sometimes there's some acknowledgement. But there are a lot of heads in the sand, Judge, that just they turn a blind eye. They are willing to cater to the audience of one rather than their entire constituencies. And so that is why it is important that we participate in these elections. We do have an opportunity right now. When you think about the landscape, Judge, of the political atmosphere that this administration has created in trying to pick seats and trying to gain seats. I mean, if you think about this, all started back in Texas when he called Governor Abbott and said, I need 5 more seats, because historically, I think it's important to point out that historically, traditionally, when the majority party is up for re-election during the midterms, they have a tendency to lose. That has been the history, that has been the tradition, that has been the trend for multiple midterms. And so the writing was on the wall. And so this is a man, and these are colleagues of mine on the other side of the aisle who are so power hungry that they will do anything, including cheating, to beat people. So we say, if you can't beat them, cheat them. That's the Republicans' philosophy. And so their thirst, their insatiable thirst and insatiable appetite for power puts them in a position where they are willing to do anything, including turn a blind eye to the people that they are hurting. So that's what I experienced. And it's very disappointing. You only have a handful of folks who are willing to demonstrate that they have the courage to stand up to this administration. And generally speaking, those who are willing to push back against this administration are no longer seeking office. There are many who have opted not to run for the House of Representatives again and are running for governors or running for attorney generals. And even they still feel beholden to this administration and will not speak up. And instead of doing the right thing, Judge, they continue to do the extreme right wing thing instead of doing the right thing.
So crazy. And I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Burton and back to our host. But I have one more question. Do you find it just phenomenal how the poorest counties in the state of Ohio, the poorest counties that border the river, are all red districts? They don't have health care. People can't find jobs. They don't have any social service resources. The SNAP benefits are cut off. They're starving to death, and they're in Republican districts. And I'm trying to understand the dynamic. I know maybe it's Dr. Burton, and you can sort of just enlighten us. So how could people vote against their interests repeatedly at the loss of their own health care and viability, and their communities is being destroyed? I haven't been able to figure that out. Maybe you the two of you can
if I go ahead, Doctor.
No, you go ahead. This is you today. I talk all the time. Go ahead.
Well, what I will say is I sit on the Agriculture Committee. I'm the vice ranking member currently, which means I'm the second highest ranking Democrat on that committee. And because of that, I have made it a point to visit rural communities that you're talking about, Judge. And what I have found is that they too, although they are struggling, they still find it difficult to acknowledge where the real problems lie. And they don't turn a blind eye necessarily, but instead of acknowledging that these problems are a result of this current administration, they'll say things like the trade policies. Well, whose trade policies are they? Because you know who's in charge right now. But what I have also learned, and I think this is very, very important to what you're talking about, is that Democrats have had a reputation of being too preachy, if you will. And so what I'm attempting to do by visiting these different parts of the state and different parts of the country that I typically would not represent, but I do because I am a member of the Agriculture Committee, is listening. We got to go into these places and hear what they're saying. We can't beat them over the head. We can't. It's not advantageous to say, hey, you're voting against your own interests, because nobody wants to hear that, right? And so we have to come to a place where we are listening and we are able to find some common ground and hopefully build from there. Because I think that buyer's remorse is very real right now. But nobody wants to admit they bought a bad product or that they were duped. And so I think there's a challenge in that. So and what I am finding is that if we go in and we listen and figure out where we can build common ground, then that's a good starting point. And I would equate it, I often use the analogy of a doctor. If you have an ailment and you go into the doctor's office and he doesn't ask you any questions first, he just starts telling you, okay, Judge, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have surgery on your knee today. And then after that, you'll be like, hold on, I just have a stomach ache. I don't need, and sometimes we go in with our own agenda and thinking that we have an answer or a solution or one size fits all, and it just doesn't work. So we have to listen. We have to go into places and we have to start to listen to see where we can win some of those folks over and let them know that we are the party that is on your side. We are the ones that really want to help you. And if you look at the history, if you look at who's been doing what, then hopefully they can come to the right conclusion.
And I think just to add to that, and the Congresswoman, I agree with everything that you just said, but I'm going to say what you can't say, is that also is we have to recognize, and there's a great book that talks about dying of whiteness, is that it's
she got a book for everything.
Well, she's a doctor, Kenny. Of course she does.
I'm reading a good one right now too that was referred to me called Separation Separation of Church and Hate is a really good one.
Jesus,
but
where you get that one from
Otis Moss III. But no, I was saying that this book even talks about that it followed four individuals, 4 white individuals, and it was around the Affordable Care Act. And in this, it was saying that these people refused care because they associated it with Obama and the Affordable Care Act. They would rather die and stick to or hold on to their whiteness, because in their mind, that was helping Black people and other marginalized communities. And so in order for me to uphold my whiteness, I'm going to refuse this and I'll die. Like my health, I can benefit from this. I can take advantage of it. But because of my race, I will stand in this and stay sick. Then that's exactly what happens when we look at what's happening across the board, is that I will I'm going to stand on whiteness versus supporting anything that looks like it's beneficial to Black folk.
That's correct.
And so that's why I said I can say it, but Congresswoman can't. I do have a question for you though. What is the atmosphere like?
Yeah.
What is the atmosphere like when you walk through the halls and everything? That's why you the Congresswoman and I'm not.
It's as crazy as you think. I mean, listen, we are. Let me also say that there are Republican colleagues that I actually get along with when it comes to just being cordial and interacting on a day-to-day basis, and so it's not exactly like the Bloods and the Crips in here, but it can get a little gangster sometimes. But most of the time we are cordial, and when it is not a figure of speech when we say the other side of the aisle. We are literally divided on opposite sides of the rooms that we work in, and probably for good reason. But I think that, so we're not forced to interact with each other as much as we probably should, Doctor. That is how you cultivate relationships. That is how you gain confidence and trust. That is how you are able to build and develop and legislation that can stand the test of time. Because right now we are very polarized. I mean, it's sad to see that, after what happened at the Correspondence Dinner, I don't even know what to call it, but what happened at the Correspondence Dinner, we had there's this like brief moment of coming together, and then immediately the administration kicks in and it's like, okay, I'm going to use this for opportunity to say I need to get this done. Right. And so the capitalization of I think there's an expression in politics, never let a crisis go to waste, right? And so I think that this administration is masterful at that. But the reality is the Correspondence Dinner is not affiliated with the Congress or the White House. We are the guests there. That is a journalist event that should be put on. So, for him to attempt to take onus and to try to leverage that into getting something that he wants out of it is what we are dealing with in the halls of Congress. And so I would hope that we can get back to a place, and it's hard in this environment. I will not try to fool you into thinking that it is not. It's hard in this environment because everything is very much us versus them in a lot of ways. Small things we are able to successfully get done in a bipartisan way, but the big things, it seems like, is where we have the most difficulty. So maybe we need to start doing things in smaller chunks, because we can't, like the post office naming that I did, that legislation passed in a bipartisan way. So things like that get done. So maybe we need to figure out how to do things a little bit in more incremental in a much more incremental way, so that we don't find ourselves in these gridlocks where things just aren't getting done at all.
I want to give a shout out to, I would say, one of the most improved people on the Hill. I done seen them changed up a little bit, and that's going to be to Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries. Talking about keeping it gangster. He been keeping it gangster.
Listen, y'all don't know. He a Brooklyn. That's the boy from Brooklyn. Y'all just don't know.
Yeah.
So we know here.
Oh,
we know. But I know.
Stepping to folks, man. I was like, he just didn't step to that guy, did he? And he just didn't say that in that press conference, did he? I mean, Akeem is really getting it out. So I got two things because I want to get you before you leave.
The Brooklyn Brawler, baby. Don't sleep on
Don't sleep on me.
Okay?
No, I'm a firm believer in him. I was kind of worried for a moment, but now I start watching and said, okay,
it's coming out.
It's coming out. You didn't even change Akeem Jeffries, man.
What do you say? Mind your business.
Mind your business. Akeem been going off on everything. You see, he got it.
They crazy. They crazy.
Sometimes
you gotta match the energy. Like they started it, but we gonna finish it. Okay.
Exactly. He's all about that. So I'm giving him the word most improved. He definitely did a 360, and we most proud of that. And it looks like we fighting. A couple things I want to get off real quick before we let you go is two things. One, I wanted to talk about the importance of your position and trying to get into becoming chairman of the Ag Committee. A lot of people just don't understand that Congress is a position, is a game of positioning. And you have to have tenure and you have to raise money. And it takes a few things in order to get in those positions. And so when you're working your way to getting there, it's important that we don't just squander that off by just saying we want somebody in a position because they have a good soundbite or something that they're running on. It takes a lot of work to position yourself to either be in a position to run for saying I want to be chairman of Ag or any committee in Congress. So I wanted you to just take a moment to just let people know how important that is and that seat for you in the district when that comes down. And then last, if you can, I wanted you to end it with that poem you said in there about the body.
I don't have it in front of me. I don't have it memorized, but I'll tell it. This is the easy thing. So we can get somebody, they can look it up. It's called The Cold Within. But that poem is called. So find The Cold Within, and that's the poem. And it's an amazing poem. It talks about bias, it talks about prejudice, and it talks about how selfish we are and can be, and how it creates division and divisiveness and could ultimately do us we harm ourselves when we withhold things because of differences and biases. But the Agriculture Committee, which I'm super excited you brought that up. Thank you for doing it. I am the vice ranking member on that committee, and people might think agriculture, they instantly think farming, and that is accurate, but agriculture is so many different things. The Farm Bill, which I think should also be renamed because the Farm Bill consists of 12 titles. We're talking about crop insurance, we're talking about energy, foreign trade, we're talking about SNAP. SNAP is the biggest line item in the Farm Bill. We talk about forestry. So when you think about agriculture, people shouldn't stop at farming. They should think about food, families, shelter, the things, all of the things that impact our life every single day comes through the Agriculture Committee. And so the opportunity to lead this committee would be phenomenal because I have a district where 1 in 5 households rely on SNAP, 1 in 3 of them are Black. And so what they have done to the SNAP program by making the largest cut in our nation's history to the tune of $187 billion. Already thousands of people across Ohio's 11th Congressional District are being impacted, losing their SNAP benefits because they changed the requirements to make it harder for people to stay on the program. And that is going to be essential to the future of the grocery industry, the food supply industry as a whole. For every dollar that's spent in SNAP, it generates $1.50 in our economy. So when you cut that much money, it is going to have an adverse effect, not just on the people you intend to do harm, but every part of the food supply chain, from the farmers to the producers, to the packers, to the truck drivers, to the grocers, and the people who have to buy the food. And so it's important to be able to be in a position to lead such a large committee. It's one of the largest committees. It's not an exclusive committee, but it does have a pretty significant budget, only second to the Department of Defense. And so, because again, this impacts everyone every day. And I would be honored to be able to be the top Democrat. And if we are in the majority, that would mean I would be the chairperson. But in order to do that, as you pointed out, seniority, tenure, relationships, your ability to raise money is closely tied to being able to earn that position, because it is a vote of your colleagues. It is a vote of your Democratic colleagues. And so they're going to evaluate how much money you're able to raise, how helpful can you be to them. Again, this is a policy. It's all a game of addition and multiplication, not division and subtraction. And so I have to be able to curry favor with my colleagues. And a lot of times you do that by showing up for them financially, showing up for them on the campaign trail. And so I need people to recognize that this is a tremendous opportunity, not just for me personally, but for the entire state of Ohio, because Ohio is an agriculture state. And again, it would have magnificent benefits to folks who are dealing with hunger, dealing with issues around energy costs. There are things that we can do in the energy space with what's this thing called E15. It's a year-round E15 is where they take the corn and they make gas, and it reduces the cost of gas for us. So I am super excited, if you can't tell, about the prospect of this, but that is next year. So I have to win my election first. So I need people to show up and vote Shontel Brown for Congress, Shontel Brown for Congress, Shontel Brown for Congress in this election on May the 5th. So I am going to put that out there, but it's a great opportunity.
I need a sign, Ken.
Yeah, we got plenty.
I need a sign for my yard, man. I usually have 3 or 4. I don't have a sign, man. What's going on? My daughter has a sign. I don't have a sign, Congresswoman.
Well, this is the thing. You can get a sign. We'll make sure to get you a sign.
Go to the Democratic Party right now. We got plenty of signs right at the Democratic Party. As soon as you walk in the door, you can grab you a sign and go from right there.
And you know what? I'm looking at the Congresswoman's, all the things that her committee would cover, man. It is tremendous.
It is.
It's now steel and everything.
Yeah, it's got, you know what's even under agriculture? Crypto is under the agriculture because it's considered a commodity. So we have commodities, credit insurance, crop insurance, forestry, food, nutrition. There's so many things that people probably don't realize fall under the umbrella of the Agriculture Committee, and to be able to be a champion in that space in a leadership role. And right now, you know, I've had the good fortune of serving underneath Ranking Member Craig, and that's what she's going to be running for Senate. So there will be an opening. There will be an opening for this position next Congress, but I got to get back here. I don't take that for granted. I gotta be able to come back. So I do not take that for granted. So I've been doing the work, fighting against this administration every chance that I get on behalf of the people of Ohio's 11th Congressional District, because I am I am a person who benefited from the SNAP program growing up, so it's important to me. I'm a person whose parents are relying on Social Security, so protecting that is important to me. I have a nephew with special needs, and so the education is important to me. My brother is a laborer in construction, so protecting workers' rights is important to me. My grandfather was a veteran when he was here, so protecting the veterans is important to me. So every aspect of the work that I do is not only because of the responsibility, but it is truly personal for me. And so I want to leave this position better than I found it. And that's not easy to do because I've had such phenomenal leaders before me. But this would be an opportunity to make a huge impact, not just in the 11th Congressional District, but nationally. So.
And see, the thing about you is that this is a unique time because none of your predecessors have ever had to deal with any administration or leader as crazy as the one we have now.
You're absolutely right, Judge. And it's wonderful as a mentor, Secretary Fudge was to me. She told me, she was like, you're gonna have some crazy votes. They're gonna call you in the middle of the night. You're gonna miss some holidays. She said you're gonna miss some monumental events like birthdays, family, weddings, and funerals. But no one, not even her, could have prepared me for what we're dealing with now. We're dealing with an insane administration. And she was a part of Trump 1.0 and knew it was bad. And we're on this in this podcast. We knew how bad it would be if we let him get back in office again. And now I think we're in the find out season.
All right.
Well, Congresswoman, we want to thank you. You did good as always. You gave everybody what they needed to do.
I'm gonna close out with the poem.
The Cold Within.
Oh, she got it. All right, she got it. All right, we're gonna close out. Here's the poem. Go ahead, Doctor.
So this is The Cold Within by James Kinney. 6 humans trapped by happenstance in bleak and bitter cold. Each one possessed a stick of wood, or so the story's told. Their dying fire in need of logs, the first man held his back. For of the faces round the fire, he noticed one was black. The next man looking across the way saw one not of his church and couldn't bring himself to give the fire his stick of birch. The third one sat in tattered clothes. He gave his coat a hitch. Why should his log be put to use to warm the idle rich? The rich man just sat back and thought of the wealth he had in store and how to keep what he had earned from the lazy, shiftless poor. The black man's face bespoke revenge as the fire passed from his sight. For all he saw in his stick of wood was a chance to spite the white. The last man of this forlorn group did not accept for gain, giving only to those who gave was how he played the game. Their logs held tight in death's still hands was proof of human sin. They didn't die from the cold without. They died from the cold within.
There it is. That's the cold within.
That's the poem.
That's what we all got to rectify.
Yes.
Election day is coming up this Tuesday. Don't be a hater. Go vote for Shontel Brown.
Yes.
And we'll see you guys at our next program. Peace. Thanks for coming on, Congresswoman. May 5th. We'll see you May 5th.
Thank y'all.
Cleveland in the house, the time is right.
All good.
So we Kenn Dowell, motivate, inspire, and write. This is what you need, and it's hosted by Kenn Dowell, art, politics, and culture. So let's go. Strategic moves with Kenn Dowell radio show. Let your voice be heard, time to elevate. Call in on Talk to Me Tuesday. Let your voice be heard.